blessed tonight to have the absolutely enigmatic, the impressive, the intelligent, and the all-knowing Yembele. How's it going, mate?
Wow, what an intro. I'm speechless, and that's very rare for me. You know, I have quite a lot of stage leave. No, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be on again. I've missed you. I haven't seen you for a while. Obviously, just life and family take over everything.
Someone's been too busy. That's what that is.
I know it's terrible. It is terrible right now. So, but no, it's a pleasure to be here, and always love to talk about Arsenal, don't I?
Yeah, mate. It's good to catch up because we have been doing like monthly things, and obviously you are a very busy man at the moment, so it's one of the things. But nevertheless, always to the rescue, like Superman coming in. Wackles is unavailable. You're straight in. It's like an upgrade, anyway.
Oh no, that's not.
I can say that.
Wackles
is
top notch. No. He's top notch. It's not the same, is it?
To be fair, do you know what? Last week was a milestone for us. We hit over 600 live last week. So
congratulations! It's well deserved.
It was a big one. We are getting there, Yem. I think this is episode 42 tonight.
Taking over the world soon. That's what it is, isn't it?
World domination. Yeah, teaching's out. Exactly. Podcasting's in. That's it.
Exactly.
The children can keep in touch with their multiplication by counting the subscribers. Right, I think we better get into this straight away because I know you are very pressed for time. So, and I know you haven't even seen these comments. So, John Obi Mikel. Do you remember John Obi Mikel?
Famous for obviously ditching Man United at the last minute to move to Chelsea. Not for the money, of course. Not for the money, of course.
No. And he would never mention anything to do with money until a couple of days ago. So he has come out on TalkSport, I think it was, being asked about Arsenal, you know, trying his best to be unbiased. And I'll go through his comments here. Ready? So his comments were, when I watch Arsenal play right now, they depend solely on corner kicks. You have spent almost $1 billion, Mikel Arteta, almost $1 billion. You're telling me the only way you can win games is through corner kicks. It's ridiculous. Then he went on to say this. First of all, they're impeding the goalkeeper. Now they start holding players. And then essentially said, so that's what I mean, that Arsenal are trying to cheat their way to winning the Premier League. Big words from that man. Thoughts, yeah, because obviously you haven't heard that, and it is kind of, you know, that is the excerpts from it. It is not the entire thing. I'm not going to read out his full transcription, but like, is there any kind of credence to that, or do we just completely ignore it because it's John Obi Mikel and the comments are insane?
I think it's the current rhetoric, isn't it? Floating around the Premier League season. We've heard Paul Scholes talk about it. We've heard, you know, a couple of people talk about it. The fact is that is this Arsenal team pretty? To a degree, but it's efficient. We wouldn't be top of the Premier League otherwise. Look, there are many ways to win the Premier League. Mikel Arteta has chosen this route. If it delivers us a Premier League, I'm not complaining about that. It has got us this far, and it has got us to look. Are we playing flowing football? No. Are we a team like Liverpool, we're under Jurgen Klopp? No. But what we are is a team that can get to win a title against a team that have spent 100 million in a window where other teams couldn't even match that. We are going up against, you know, an ultra competitive Premier League where even the bottom team now look like world beaters. It's super competitive, super aggressive, super closed up. What team opens up against us in the Premier League? No one. So we have to find a way to win. And this is the way we're going to win. Is it, you know, do I like it? Not necessarily, but does it win me if it gets me a Premier League title and I'm able to celebrate the first title in 20 years, I really wouldn't care.
Yeah, mate. It's so true. It's like, look at the City game. And City ended up playing essentially because they took off Haaland as well, didn't they, in that game? They just went, we're shutting up shop. We are not trying to get out. We're trying to stop Arsenal, that's the mentality of our title challenges.
It's the mentality of the whole league, isn't it? Look, let's be honest. Every game, we know it's going to be deep block, try to be aggressive, try to take out our players, and then hope for a low XG chance. Now that is certainly a problem for us, that we're conceding too many opportunities with low XG that seem to go in. I think that genuinely is a concern. But am I worried about us winning corners and doing that? For years we were rubbish at corners. I love it.
Awful.
Why? It was the one area where I got really annoyed that we didn't expose it. Now we're the masters of it. Why? Look, again, sour grapes will always be part of Arsenal's, everything against Arsenal. The media have always been against Arsenal. Even if we were winning pretty, there would be something like they're not dogged enough, they're not physical enough, they're too pretty. What do you want? You want the perfect team. There is no such thing as that. That, it's one or the other. We're going about it one way. If we win the title, then will any of our fans remember anything about being unpretty in this game? I don't think so. I think they'll be celebrating a title win and they'll be saying, congratulations, Mikel, you got us over the line. Because that's what it is now. It's a fight to get over the line about, in a Premier League season, which, to be honest, the defenses have ruled. It's not been amazing for goal scorers. Look at the top goal scorer, Haaland. Haaland is now struggling. It's also a long, laborious season with a lot of more games than ever. The Champions League is now ultra competitive. We've seen it now this week, and we'll probably talk about that. But we knew this was going to come along from players and from pundits alike. It is just how things are, because they've identified that Arsenal get goals in a certain way. But also as well, we're scoring the most open play goals, so it doesn't really add up. So they're picking and choosing. I think it's just sour grapes completely.
Like, that's the thing, isn't it? I feel like we need a fact checker on everything that's being said about Arsenal at the moment. Like, the current rhetoric, to me, it's just, well, to be honest, originally it really wound me up. Like, it got me at my core, because, as an Arsenal fan, as much as you don't want it, and you'll say you don't want it, you want at least some respect. Like, I feel that this team, especially that defensive unit, deserves a little bit of respect for what they're doing. And instead of that, we constantly get jabbed and jibed at, and then these comments in particular, I kind of went, oh, it's just embarrassing at this point. I think that's what I put in the title. It's this, for a player, like you say, for a player that made his career-defining choice, most likely out of money, which is now a team, they've just recently admitted all of the offences that team he was in committed. So, like, he was genuinely a team of cheaters. And then he's got the brass neck to kind of say that about us, which I find funny. It then mentioned billions. And you look at City's spending, but look at Chelsea's spending and where they are. Like, they've spent more than that in, like, what, one or two windows? You think it's just, to me, it lacks that kind of self-awareness of, all right, if you're going to say these things, at least have a little bit of kind of backing and reasoning about it. Like, by all means, I will agree, it is not the most attractive football I've seen at this club. It's not. But at the same time, I was talking last week about I think it was the 96-97 team for United that won the Premier League. They got battered 5-0 against Newcastle. They lost 6-3 against Southampton. They had less points than us, less goals than us, more conceded. So when you look at that and you go, well, we're not the worst statistical team, and that's fine. We're not an attractive team, but just at least have some grounding to your comments. Like, say, I don't like the way they're playing, maybe, and be constructive with it. Maybe they need to take Gyökeres out, and maybe Kai is the man that they need. They need that facilitator. Maybe it's the manager causing it. Maybe it's the amount of games that they're playing, like you mentioned. But just saying, oh, you've spent $1 billion, you should be playing nicer football than that. I feel it's just inflammatory comments, isn't it, to kind of get some clicks?
Well, that's it, isn't it? It's about getting eyes and clicks on your content. We regularly see it with Sky Sports now, which has gone to this kind of attention-seeking, modus operandi. And look, that's how it is. Arsenal will always get views, whether positive or negative, from both sets of fans. It's how it is, but I don't think Mikel and the team care about it particularly. I don't see them getting riled up about it. We'll just continue going on. Again, will they look back at it and say, "Oh, well, we should have played pretty football and won the title"? No, we won the title. That's all I would care. That's all I would care about.
I was going to ask you a question about that because you said I don't think they care about it. Having seen the behind the scenes footage of All or Nothing, scene where there's the Tony comments, they put up the whole kick about in the park, that comment, and they use that to kind of fuel them. Do you think at this moment in time, because our development has been, we've superseded where we were by 100, but do you think Arteta is still that type of manager? I feel he is a little bit petty. So I can imagine him, using that as fuel for the players and going, look at the comments from Neville, look at the comments from Scholes, look at the comments from Schmeichel, now John Obi Mikel. Or do you think it's like, block out the noise, let's just do it now? Because you guys are far better than, they were currently at that time. Like, which do you think they would do?
I don't think they even listen to any of it. I think they've learned. I mean, Bukayo Saka said it a couple of weeks ago that he said, we really don't listen to this. We just get on with our game. I don't think they've got the time. It's so hectic now between games. It's like every 3 days. I think we had one week where we actually had a free week, which was between, a few games. And that's the thing that, do they even get the capacity to go and do these things? I don't think so. They've got other commitments as well, media and all that. I don't think they've even got the time for it. They're focused on the next, super laser focused. Look at this week: Bayer Leverkusen, then Everton, then back to Bayer, another home time again. You're not going to. There's no spare capacity to think about these things and get riled up by it. You may post a picture, maybe the players post a picture, but that's about it. They're not engaging. So I don't think.
Yeah.
Again, I'm sure Mikel has just probably said, look, we've got to focus on these things. And obviously the pressure of Man City, even though we're 7 points clear, I doubt that stops them from. I think that's what keeps them motivated, because it's a competitive Premier League race that we're having for the title. So I don't think it. Again, I think this is more sour grapes. Don't believe into it, and I think Mikel won't really care.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. It is crazy at the moment. Sorry, I couldn't get my words out. It is bonkers at the moment because, like, the fixture list is mad. And I think that has to be kind of taken into account as well for these performances. Like at the beginning of the season, like look at Zubimendi. I think Zubimendi, the way that midfield was working, he looked fantastic. And I don't think it's a case of him being found out per se. It looks like he just cannot adjust to the schedule. And
well, the thing is that if you think about it, he played for a Real Sociedad side that were barely in Europe, not at this level. Every week he's asked to be at 100% because the Premier League demands that. In La Liga, with respect, La Liga is a good league, but it's not the Premier League. Every game is competitive. Every game you have to be 100%. Every game. Look what's happened. He makes mistakes. Bang, they're on him. He's the number 6, and the number 6 is a heavy burden to bear. It is one of those leagues where you cannot make a mistake because you will get punished straight away. And he's having to get used to it. Most players do who have to come over. What he's done is set a high bar. And that's the thing. He's set a high bar. And unfortunately, he can't meet it now because of tiredness. We know he's tired. He's played so many games. He's literally the most indispensable player in the team because A, Mikel doesn't trust Norgard. B, Zubimendi's playing ability. So I think he will get better. I also think as well, we do need to get another midfielder to alleviate that kind of burden. And be able to,
100% agree with that.
And to, Mikel Merino getting injured was a massive blow because, look, Mikel Merino is not the greatest player in the world, although Spain will think he is, but he could alleviate that pressure. And that's a big loss because we're having to play. Norgard's the only option, or you may drop Kai in there, but again, then you lose something with Kai. So, look, Zubimendi, has been putting the hard job. As it was said in the chat, look, in the chat, Zubimendi has put the hard yards in more than any other player. Mental for a player who hasn't played that level of football every week, week in, week out.
Yeah.
You've got to credit him. It's really hard for him. You can imagine that he has to be switched on every second of every. It improves you. Don't get me wrong.
Yep.
I assume next year he'll be probably the best player in the league, or one of the best. But it's a hard sell in the first year. It's physically. I mean, I can imagine he's probably physically spent in some respects.
I think like even Rodri, when he first came into the league, they weren't playing him like this, you know, and everyone knew how good he. I guess their trajectory has been kind of similar in terms of a player that Spain haven't had as their mainstay CDM and have started coming into that squad as they make the move to England. But, you know, he wasn't thrown in like this. And I feel that at the moment, the way that Arteta seems to try to get Rice more engaged in the play and kind of more engaged in the build-up. And it does beg the question, like, what are you doing with Zubimendi there? Because he is almost just retaining possession, but not, you know, he's not building play and he's not making line-breaking passes or anything. I just feel that at the moment, maybe it's just because they know how tired he is and it's just take the load off the guy. But also it begs the question, why not just play Norgard then in some of these games?
Well, I don't think he trusts him because, again, Norgard doesn't play in the big games and he plays, you know, again, it's only when it's truly, truly backs to the walls, which I get. Look, Norgard is a good player. I think he's been decent, actually, when he's come on.
He surprised me.
And I think maybe, again, that's part. Mikel struggles to trust a lot of players who don't. I don't know what it is. Sometimes he doesn't just respond very well to some things. And we do need, you know, as most people know, we need someone of quality. We need someone of just to lessen that load. And I think Mikel Merino, obviously, massive loss for us in terms of the depth that we have. But we do need another quality midfielder. Personally, the stories of Eduardo Camavinga, honestly, he's one of my favorite players. I would absolutely love him because I think I know he's stagnated a little bit, but at Arsenal, I think he could be the man.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, 610's put here. Evening 610, by the way. Hope you are well. By the way, Reece hasn't aged. It's just Yembele. You know, looking sharp with the hair. But for those audio listeners, because we are on audio platforms now, Yembele is coming in here with like a new sharp haircut. Beard's looking good too as well, mate. I feel like I am a mess right now. I've got like the neck beard. I have to be well kept now. You know, I can't do what I used to do, which is turn the camera off and do all this. It's called camera on in person. I have to shave every day. It's crazy now. I have to actually make sure I shave. You know, and then my hair grows out of control really quickly. So I have to now make sure that I look, because again, I have a very front-facing role, so I can't avoid it. I thought this was like just for the pod, mate. I thought he's made it.
The moment you said it, you know, the 20 minutes beforehand. Oh, I resent this. Right, this last comment. He's eating a snack. There's a reason I'm eating a snack. I've been fasting all day, and I'd come upstairs, and then Alex had messaged me going, "Yem, can you jump on?" And I was literally I had the bag of crisps right in my hand. I was like, I said to my wife, "Oh, my mate needs help." I was like, "But I really do want these crisps because they're really good." I don't look for everyone watching.
Yeah, well, ironically, are we allowed to do this?
I know.
Look, by the way, Yembele will be on the latte firm within the next hour, so like. Are we allowed to do this? Is this trademark?
These are Tyrell smoked paprika.
Oh, mate, fair play. Do you know what? I think you get a bad rap sometimes on the latte firm with your snack checks. Because sometimes I'm sat there and I'm thinking, FK, I'm not sure about yours, mate. I'm just, you know.
It's a bit of fun. I love it. I love doing that. I mean, there are some times where I get some, you know, I deliberately go after the weird ones just so that I can it's banter, isn't it? It's different, isn't it? That's what we like, isn't it? So, but I'm eating this because I was salivating. I literally had my breaking my fast meal, and then I was like, I always go and get a little snacky just afterwards because you know, like you're in that kind of mood, and it's really bad, but I can't resist it. It's Tyrell's
mate. It is completely understandable. Like fair play, and it is much appreciated. You just kind of going, no, I'm powering on. Just grab the snacks. Let's do the pod. Let's do this. kind of thinking about like players that could come in, because 610 has put in, you kind of just touched on it as well. If we get one more of the quality of Rice and Zubimendi, someone like Talali, we can rotate the midfield much better next season. We're missing Marino, I think. Like, I know you started going in on Camavinga, who is someone I think last year I started talking about his ability in the left eight. I feel like he might be actually a more natural fit in that position than Declan Rice is. I feel like a quick fix for me right now is just switch Rice and Eze. Just switch them so they're on it the other sides. It just seems to me like a natural decision. Why we're not doing it, I don't know. There's got to be, I
think Mikel Arteta is very fixed in the sense that you have to expose Bukayo Saka as much as possible to get a run on his man. So the only way to do that is to have a right eight who will keep feeding him the ball, etc.
Yeah,
I think it's a bit unbalanced. I prefer my creative midfielder centrally so that he can expose both sides. I'm not a big fan of this overweighted to the right side. I get it because obviously our strongest side is our right side. But for me personally, Eze would fit better in a central position just behind the striker. He's not an Ødegaard. I think we can all acknowledge that. Ødegaard is more of a controller. Eze is a moments player who will... I don't think he doesn't press as well. And I think there's a concern about that because, again, I think he's a bit lightweight in some respects. But what he does is he will be in the right position at the right time to strike the ball.
Yeah.
And I think that's where you're going to get the benefit of him. Now, in terms of going back to the comment about the midfield, Camavinga would be my outstanding choice. The reason is that he's got everything. I think he just needs his game to be upped a little bit and be the man in the team. I think as well his versatility is exactly what you need. Can play left 8, 6, left back if you need to. That's literally Mikel Arteta's dream. For 50 million going at the moment. Whoa, if we're not in for him, and I think Man United will be in for him because it's a very Man United feel signing.
That'd be a good player, a great player for them.
I know, but I don't like it. I'd be annoyed. It's like the Sesko one because
me too.
Again, Sesko was my choice, and I think it's being proven out. Look, I've got nothing bad for Gyökeres. I mean, I'm not his biggest fan, and I think he's certainly got deficiencies. But Sesko was the one I was going to go. I wanted, but Camavinga is a top quality player for me. But again, the midfield as a whole still needs another body there. Whether it's a youngster like a Buadi. Buadi's also another great option that we can look at. But his fee is ridiculously high for a player that young. Good ceiling, but 100 million? No, definitely not. You're looking at about...
I completely agree with that. It's interesting.
Yeah, go on.
No, well, I was just going to say that I think that there is a real midfielder market this summer. Like, we were in the striker market last year and it was just dreadful. Like, I can't say any other word for that. Like, look at the strikers of the past. I was trying to explain this to Reese, and I think it's a bit difficult sometimes with me and Reese because we've been brought up in different periods of football. So what we see and what we look for is very different, which sometimes... well, most of the time it comes up with really good discussions because we view the game so differently. But when I tried to explain to him, we had an argument, per se, a heated debate, as they say online, about whether defenders were better kind of back in the 90s and whether attacks were better. And I feel both. I feel that defenders were better. The Maldinis, the Bareses, you look right the way through. And then I feel like as well, like you can tell I watched a lot of Serie A. Like
who did it in the 90s? Who did it in the 90s?
I know, and that's the thing. And I think
Saturday morning.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like 100%. I used to get up, watch the Serie A, and then I'd go play football for about 4 or 5 hours, which is obscene. But like the Batistutas, the Christian Vieris, the Tottis, Del Pieros, you even like go then through like the higher, the R9s. And now we're going, Sesko, Gyökeres. Like, I mean, it's nowhere near on the same level in terms of what their output is and what they're doing and capable of doing. But having said that, the midfield market this year, although it's not like, we don't have the Iniestas, the Xavis, the Pirlos these days, there is definitely a market of really good ball playing midfielders and physical midfielders. So I think Tonali, as 6'10 mentioned. You've got Bruno that we've also been. It seems that any Newcastle player right now, but Bruno. Yep.
Elliot Anderson, massive opportunity, but I get the feeling you'll go Man City when they stump up the cash by having a new sponsor.
Yeah. I mean, that wouldn't surprise me. You got Wharton. Wharton's a good player. I think Baleba will be gettable this season for much less than the 100 million that they originally were asking for.
Someone from Chelsea is going to go as well, given their finances. So Caicedo could go as well. Look, it's not beyond the range of possibility.
That's wow. Could you imagine? I mean, we were in for him originally. And if memory serves
it's not
rightly.
Again, Chelsea have been known in the last couple of years to sell massive players. It's not beyond the realms. But you're right. Look, the midfield market is much more available than most areas. Like you said, the striker market is dead. Who could we get realistically this summer that's of the necessary quality, apart from Alvarez, who's the standout option and the only option I think that's of our level?
Yeah, I think that's it. I think the only other player I'd look at is Krupi, but I don't think he raises the ceiling. I think he raises the floor. Like I feel that if Jesus left and you got Krupi in, I'm not going to complain. I think like he gives us a lot of different things like the ball striking, but just in terms of elite, ceiling raisers, there's probably only Alvarez. What would you, if you could kind of get, say, 4 players? I know I'm putting you on the spot here. 4 players this summer. And you can't say Haaland. Who are you?
Well, realistic. We're being realistic here.
Yeah. And say what's our biggest spendings like? 250.
250 this summer. 250 this summer was the highest that we've ever spent, I think.
So say 250 on 4 players. We're kind of ignoring Hincapie's fee, but who would you bring in?
Alvarez would be one because I think he can change the game, especially with Jesus going. I think Alvarez, Gyökeres, Kai Havertz is good enough. We don't have someone elite, but I think 100%. Alvarez would be a game changer. I would then Camavinga for me is my first choice. But again, there's so many options in the midfield that you could go for. Elliot Anderson, Wharton. The midfield is an easier one because, as you said, there's much more of the profile that we would like. Athletic, tough tackling. We're not looking for an attacking midfielder. We've got one of the best in Declan Rice in a box to box, and we don't play attacking midfield. That kind of Jude Bellingham type. We've already got that. I do think Ødegaard is a bit of an issue for me. I think physically he's dropped below the league standard. I think there's a conversation. Don't know if that's going to happen or not, given he's the captain, but I think there is a conversation to be had. And then who do you go for? It's hard to say, but again, Alvarez, Kai Havertz could fill in there. Then you get, maybe one more midfield. I think as well, the left wing is a problem. The more I see it, Trossard is off form. Martinelli has started to stagnate again. He was doing well in the Champions League, but then looked really terrible this week against Leverkusen. I think I don't think Kvaratskhelia is realistic because I think the fee will be too high. Yildiz signed a new deal as 610 has said in the chat, but I don't think that's going to happen either. Who left wing? There's not much left wingers either that of note. Leao doesn't track back enough. He's lazy as anything. He's a good player going forward, but lazy. Honestly, Gordon. I don't rate Anthony Gordon as a top notch wing. I think he's decent, but he's very much like Martinelli, just head down.
Very similar.
Doesn't look enough. So who do you go for there? So I'm on the fence with that one. And then right back, I think we will be looking because I think unfortunately Ben White, I think will be the player be sold that's this season. And right back, I don't think Tino Livramento will go from Newcastle. I think they'll still hold on to him.
It's interesting, isn't it? How we've been linked to so many of those Newcastle players. Like all great players in isolation, I feel. Wouldn't kind of turn my nose up at any of them. But it does make me laugh. It's almost like that thing of, you know, when big teams get beaten by a smaller team and they suddenly buy that player. Like, I'm sure that's what Liverpool used to do when Klopp first came in. Just, oh yeah, Southampton. Yeah, we'll pick a player. Oh, they've been quite good again. We'll take another player from them. But yeah, I do think it will be a bit of a revamp in terms of the more attacking areas. I wouldn't be surprised if Odegaard does kind of start being linked to some other clubs. I think this is probably the last season you're going to get really good money for him. If you,
Exactly. I mean,
fall into danger of his, you know, his valuation dropping, people not being as interested. And as you say, the game is moving forward in a physicality realm, and he doesn't quite suit that. Like, you know, he could probably go to like an Italy.
Oh, he'll be fine. He's still a really good player. He's a really good player, really good. But the thing is that physically you can tell he's struggling with tackling and doing what he used to do, which was, you know, really still being that kind of focal point. And he can't ride the challenges as well as he used to. Again, there's a lot of options for us. I think as well, we're at that stage now where we're not having to buy so many players to supplement the squad. We're buying good players for each position to try and raise the ceiling rather than the floor. If you get my, you know, the right back, I think you are raising the floor more than the ceiling. Midfield, maybe half, but left wing, definitely raising the ceiling. Up front, you definitely want to raise the ceiling as much as possible.
Yeah.
Because I think we can all acknowledge we got it wrong with Gyökeres. It's not, look, decent player, but not Arsenal level. And I think Bert has to take an L. I've said Bert needs to take an L on that one because it's not good enough.
I just feel, I feel a little bit bad for him because there was this whole kind of furor around him, this whole circus kind of thing, you know, him being quickly shipped abroad to be like paraded to all the fans, him getting the 14, actually like, I still quite, you know, rate him for that, going, you know, I'll take that number and trying to take that pressure on. Like, it's a massive thing. That is not an easy thing. And there's a lot of players that would shy away from that. But looking at the price, really, you know, it's not that mega money signing. You know, it's nowhere near up to the Rices and the Bellinghams and the, you know, all of those type of players, these huge fees. So I feel like on that side, I feel a bit bad for him that he's been judged like he has been £100 million player. And also, he's been forced to play in a team that are not playing to his strengths in systems and in games where I think if Kai was fully fit, there's no way he'd be starting in some of these games.
No.
You're trying to play him as the focal point. That's not, you know, that's not his strength. But then at times I just feel like, I feel a bit bad for the guy.
No, and I completely agree with you in that respect. But I think as well, Mikel and Bert should have looked at it and said, this striker does not fit how we play our game. So there has to be some onus on Berta and Arteta to say, look, you had X striker and X striker. Yes, Sesko was going to cost a lot more fees and all that, but he did fit the mold of what we were looking for more than Gyökeres. Again, it was going to be between the two, and I think obviously finance is told in the end and the desire. But has Gyökeres delivered what we expected? Probably not. Has he done enough to say that he's contributed to the team? Still out in games, he's looked okay, but I think most Arsenal fans can support him, but acknowledge that he's not the level for Arsenal. He lacks the touch. He lacks the ability to contribute in the way that we need him to, like a Kai Havertz can, with a bit more of a touch that can guarantee where the ball is going to. With Gyökeres, and you don't know where it's going to go. When he hits it, you don't know what's going to happen. Sometimes it works, sometimes it just goes out for a throw-in. That's the issue. And it just, again, you're right. He doesn't play to his strengths. He's not that kind of player. He's a channel player. He runs the channels, and when he runs the channels, looks very, very decent. But again, I still don't think he's elite level. And I think he's been found out a little bit by, you know, having to be the man in a top team, and I don't think he is.
Yeah. Right. Because I know you're a busy man. You got to set up for the live firm in a bit. But before we do finish up, I want to play a little game with you, Yen. All right. So we're just going to play, like word association, we're going to play one word to describe the players that I say at this current moment in time. So bearing in mind, for those of you listening, it is the 13th of March. Okay. So we just played Bayer Leverkusen, scraped a 1-1 draw in that one. And we got Everton coming up tomorrow.
Hey, look, can we just talk about that for a minute?
Yeah, go on then.
Given the results this week for English teams in the Champions League, the result was fine. Take it and get out. We robbed them eventually, considering. I do not care. Back at the Emirates, we should be winning. There should be no excuses. But that was a highway robbery. It's been a terrible week for English clubs, really. None of us won. Just get out and get, you've got an advantage because you're going to be at home. Take it. We should be winning. But yeah, it wasn't great.
Yeah, mate. I did the preview and I was like, well, I think we'll win. We should be beating them. And I talked about the midfield and being able to turn the midfield and, turn the midfield quickly and having open spaces. But we didn't seem to have any carriers. So that whole preview, obviously Mikel's not a subscriber yet, so he missed out on that. And then when I did the reaction, originally I was just so frustrated. I was frustrated with the same old things that are kind of becoming a pattern now. And then Bakayo's performance, I just looked at and thought, that was a bad one. But then after a little while, I thought about it and I thought, well, actually, on one hand, yes, the performance wasn't great. On the other hand, bearing in mind what happened to the other English clubs, bearing in mind that Bakayo was that bad and Mikel had the, he had the know-how and he had the balls essentially to go, I'm taking him off at 60 minutes and I'm putting Madueke on. And not a lot of managers would do that in a Champions League game. But
you also don't have but also we had the quality of Anoni Madueke, who I thought actually was really good and got the penalty, obviously. A little bit of a contentious one, but I don't really care.
Yeah. I mean, you take it all day, don't you? And then the other thing is that we played our absolute worst. And at our absolute worst, at a tricky place in the Bay Arena, we still get a draw.
But Bayer
straight.
Bayer Leverkusen had to play their top at their best. That was their best. That was our worst. So if you imagine on our best day, we will absolutely floor them. But will we do that? That's always the question. But we've got much more headroom than they have to be better. If you look at it, I think Kafane, very, very energetic performance, did well against Saliba. But you can imagine Saliba and Gabriel could be a lot better as well. And, I think, again, with respect to the German league, it is not as competitive as the Premier League. The level of energy that you have to give is ridiculous.
And let's just remember, we could be Spurs.
We could look. I think we can all take a moment to reflect on Igor Tudor's excellent appointment. What a great decision from Vinay. And
is this an inside job? Is that what's actually happening here? He's just
Thomas Frank started the job. Now Vinay must finish it. It's up to you, Vinay. Edu's coming to really seal the deal and to put a bow tie on the whole. Put a bow tie on the whole thing. But this has been a great undercover mission. Your club will be proud of you, gentlemen.
It's when they all turn up in suits at the end of the season, just at the Emirates.
Can I ask you a question? Because I've said this already. If Tottenham get relegated and Arsenal win the title, is that possible? Well, and also possibly Champions League. Is that football done for you? Would you say football's done for me? I will never experience a better season than that.
I mean, I would put my house on that. I would never have a better season than that, but it won't ever be done. Like I've been there in terms of I've been in the doldrums. Wow,
but
for us, the doldrums.
Have we ever been as close as this?
No, it's crazy, isn't it? Like
so close. We just
nothing's gonna. It's that thing where they say once you've jumped out of a plane and and Premier League players who have played at the summit and then they retire and they're always chasing that high. I do feel that we're going to become those people. Maybe that's what we've always been since the Invincibles, still chasing that high. That's the problem. But it's not going to get that good, is it? It is never going to get that good.
Oh, it's so close. Who knows?
Do we say the Q word? Do we say the Q?
No, FK doesn't say, you know, the. No, look, again, I think we just enjoy this kind of last bit of the run. Look at it's only 7 to 8 games left. Crazy.
I mean, they are the worst team in the league right now. They're the worst team in the league right now.
I love watching the Spurs content.
It's beautiful.
It's pure cinema at the moment. Look, I have to give kudos to Expression. Expression is probably the funniest content creator for football I've seen out there. He I know he goes a bit too far sometimes, but my word, hats off. It's different. It's cinema. It's cinema, honestly. Oh, hello. Oh, and we've lost him. So it's just me now on the podcast. But yeah, I mean, this season is going to be, this end to the season is going to be crazy, people. I don't know how we're going to, it could be the greatest season ever. Hopefully it is. And we're obviously just waiting for Alex to come back in, but 7 to 8 games, big chances, tough games. I mean, I'm scared. I know if you're an Arsenal fan as well, you will be scared as well. But let's see how we progress in these last few games. It'll be crazy. I know. I don't think it'll be anything comfortable. But yeah, I'm scared and excited at the same time. I wonder. I mean, chat. What do you think? How are you feeling going into these last few games? We have the advantage. We are the in the box seat, but I don't think any of us I don't think any of us expected to be like this, where it's almost on a knife edge per game. It's crazy. It's crazy. Hopefully Alex can rejoin us. Maybe his internet has decided to give out on him. Oh, there he is.
I am back. Sorry, mate. I don't know what happened there. The whole browser just disappeared then. It was just bizarre.
Oh,
I'm
scared,
right, mate. I'm a little scared.
I'm scared. I mean, I've just given my little diatribe. I tried to do my best in the.
Mate, I appreciate that.
No, I am scared. I'm honestly genuine. I'm nervous and excited, as I said just now, because we've been here before.
Yep.
We've seen it. We've done it, but it just feels different this season because there have been points. You know, if you look at when we beat Brighton and Forest beat City, in the past, Forest would have crumbled and that would have been it. There is a difference, but we know that Everton this weekend, we're literally like, oh.
Best defensive corner team in the league.
Oh, we know what we're going to get. Look, I fully know what to expect from this from tomorrow. Am I going to see the most beautiful football in the world? Oh no, I'm literally going to see balls in the air, headers everywhere, corners galore, and it's going to be fouls everywhere. It's what you expect. Go on, but you're going to do a word association game.
Let's do it. Okay, right. So on current form, so one word. Ready? Bukayo Saka.
Needs improvement. Sorry, that's 2 words.
You already cheated on the game. You're doing us a John Obi Mikel here. What's going on? All right. Okay. Let's go with Kai Havertz. Yem is thinking currently.
No, because I know what I want to say, but it's 2 words actually. I don't want to say it. I'm trying to think of.
Let's go. Go on. I'll give you up to 3 words then. I'll give you up to 3 words. You'll find this difficult.
Oh, sorry, it's 4 actually. Could be the 1.
Ooh.
He
Okay.
could win us. He could be the difference. Him being fit.
Big shout. Let's go with Martin Zubimendi.
Warrior. I think he's done. Again, I can't praise him enough. I think it's been really tough for him, and I think he hasn't complained. He's just got on with it.
I love that. That's a nice positive vibe about him. I think there's been too much negativity about him. You're in Timber.
Another warrior. I think he's given everything. And again, he looks knackered as well.
Yeah, those two have played too many minutes, but it is what it is right now.
And he's done that 2 seasons in a row. He's played that 2 seasons in a row, don't forget.
Yeah. Off the back of a big injury as well. Yeah. Let's go with Piero Hincapié.
An absolute warrior. I've never seen.
Yeah, I feel like this is cheating still. Yeah,
I know, but I can't. Do you know what? He's heroic. I'll go with heroic because I love his attitude. I love how he approaches the game. He's just so full on. He goes 100%. He won't give up on anything.
Who's more your type of player at left back? Is it a Calafiori or a Hincapié?
I love both. Do you know what? They both give something different. Calafiori is that smooth operator. Gets the ball and it's so silky. The hair is waving in the wind and it's looking good. It's longer now as well. So he's like going for the full on, like you could see the stars and everything and you think that's a beautiful man right there. But when you see Hincapié, you're like, damn, that's a pit bull right there. He's going to dirty tackle you to the hill and he's going to love it. Gets his up and down. He can underlap, overlap. I love both of them. I think the problem with Calafiori is obvious. He's too injury prone.
Yeah, that's true. Give you 2 more. I'm going to go with who do I want to talk about in the squad? Let's go with Leandro Trossard.
Faded.
Ooh, heavy.
No,
sell him to someone.
No, I think we're going to sell him. I think we will. I think we will sell him. I think his contract. Obviously, we uprated his salary, but we didn't change the time period. I think he started off really well, but then 0 output now.
Yeah. And the final one, I was going to go with Victor Gyökeres, but Noni Madueke.
Surprising.
Ooh, okay. Surprising, like in terms of like this week or like season long?
Generally, season long, because every time he's come on, most times he's looked really, really good. I've been impressed. He's been a difference maker against Bruges, the main man. I think for 50 million, that's actually a very good buy. Everyone was slating him when he joined.
I was just about to say that. Is it money well spent?
You've got an option now for Bukayo Saka that offers you something different, but it doesn't diminish the quality almost. I think it's actually been good because we haven't been reliant on Saka as much as we would do. We would love him at top form, but if it's not going well like it didn't against Bayer Leverkusen, bring him on and let him have a go. He's fearless. He keeps trying, and I think he needs refinement. His shot taking is diabolical at some points, but he gets in good positions, and I think Mikel loves that. He loves that kind of Sane type. The raw attributes are there, and he can refine it. And I think it's been good money spent.
I do think in the Champions League, and a little bit of a hazard warning here. I have a slight worry about Bukayo Saka in the Champions League playing as a right winger. And the reason I say that is I look at our best performers throughout the front line, really, and it is Martinelli, is Madueke, and at times, Victor Gyökeres. And I think it's because the directness seems to be something that really is effective in the Champions League. And I just have a little worry at the moment, not a full-blown worry. I'm not saying, get rid of him. But Bukayo Saka on the right wing, maybe it's like the physicality thing. Maybe he just needs, a full summer rest, but we know he's not going to get that, is he?
Not with the World Cup.
Yeah, but I just feel like if he could, then maybe I would be absolutely fine. but it seems like the trend at the moment is more direct wingers. I think we're going to see more dribbling heavy wingers again at some point in the next kind of 5 years.
But again, I think Bukayo Saka's, I think he's still recovering from a massive injury. He's not been fit the whole season. He looks still tired. He's been playing so much. It's the classic case of he's played so much football from a young age that it's caught up to him. He needs a summer off, but he won't get that. So what do you do? And again, I think Mikel has mitigated that by bringing in someone who at least can supplement with him to offer something different. And that is a good move. It's very good squad planning.
Yeah. Mate, I know you've got to get going. So I'm just going to say my thank yous now. Honestly, it's always a pleasure having you on. Never a chore. We're gonna have to get the North Bank Monthly up and running again. We need to do that.
Look, call my secretary, make a slot in my calendar, because my calendar literally is the only place I look at anymore in terms of my schedule. It's so bad, my schedule.
Do you know what? I literally got my 2026 calendar this week. How appalling is that? I mean, I was meant to get, ready for New Year's, but I was running a bit behind, and I've realised
is it an Arsenal one? Is it an Arsenal one?
It's not. Do you know what? I do a
shame.
I do a custom one every year, and I'm a little bit OCD, so all of my photos are all kind of chronologically ordered and stuff. So I have photos of the family from each month over the past year, making up the calendar. So I do that every year, but this year I just didn't get around to it because that kind of, that period around Christmas, New Year's and stuff was bonkers. So I just, never came to fruition. So don't worry, 13th of March, it's not bad. I've got one now. So
it'll carry you through to the rest of the year at least.
Yeah, that's so bad. Mate, tell people where they can find you. Where can they subscribe to you on all the social platforms?
You can find me at Verge59. You can find me in the Latte Firm. I would love to say you could find me at Red Lines Half Spaces, but we're on kind of a hiatus because of commitments, unfortunately. We will try and revive it. I will try and engage again. But yeah, at the moment, it's crazy. I love talking about Arsenal, but I think it's just trying to find that time now. So, but thank you very much, Alex. I appreciate, as always, just having a chance to talk.
Honestly, I love catching up with you. Genuinely, every single time. It's just so easy chatting to you about football. Just
it's too old. It's too old. Look, one really old gentleman, one younger one, talking about the old days of football.
I think our ages are much different, mate.
Mate, the beard doesn't lie. Look at this. This is all white now, nearly. So
mine's not much better, mate. I just keep shaving it down. That's people keep going, oh, why the moustache? Part of it is to hide all the greys. I
can't hide this anymore. It's pretty much. It's a pleasure.
Guys, if you haven't done so, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and obviously go on X, /on Footy. You guys know football. We just talk it.